me take a walk out in the wilderness. I do apologize for the wind. Yes, I keep getting didoro. Wait again, guys. No, alright? A plethora of rush her spells. Like, I shall call them jaha spells. Like, do dirty real fast, real dingy. Like, hurt yourself, girl. Like, afflict yourself, girl. Like, I call them afflict yourself, girl spells, because they like an attitude making like a drag queen. They be actually making like a trans male. Okay, saying to you, hurt yourself, girl. The spell is trash yourself, girl. Like, it's called debilitate yourself, girl, because you is 40 now. Hey, batong. Another attitude they are twang on top of that. He is rain, he is thunder, lankutwa. Lightning strike, I don't know, like some kind of natural disaster. Hurt yourself, girl type sorcery. I am a Christian. Not only that, I'm accustomed to a certain lifestyle. A certain way of living. Exploitation. A temporarily displaced heiress. Like, which area that's used to lifestyle, cause get that less. Do you understand what I'm saying? Mara, she's going through a lot for a minute. A little more depressed. Like I said, that kind of construction work. And the construction work thing is also analogically, metaphorically depictive of Ugusa Gwa La Bocheri all over the show. That I've had to do that. Gadi baby daddy's a thing. Telling yourself it eventually works out. I'm sorry. I know. Mara, I don't care for it. I literally don't care for it. My scraps. It's written in God's word. That neither eye has seen, nor ear has heard, nor mind conceived the things which God has prepared for those who wait for Him. Ish, y'all. Get dustbin collection day today, and so go the dustbin all over the show. And I get the dustbin in the even at a distance. But let me go to my posse and chat from there. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of Rashmi spells, a whole bunch of Pakisa spells. Like, do yourself dirty, girl. Like I said, it's even Ajur snapping, making like a transgender man. Like, yeah, Ingfa attitude. And I'm like, I'm not Vanani. Basadi Baba said thing that are like R. Kelly responding in their song, do you mind if I stroke you up? I don't mind. They have had such men. Baba was saying, do you mind if I do you mind? Impregnate them, and during the time when they were busy making this baby irresponsibly, by Plenil. Megumnandi, it was romantic, it was love making, and it was true love, like as in like mebatanda na labantu ngempela. But you all know utamato tanjani, yo guys, basadi, you can't allow yourselves to fall into this trap time and time again. Yazi umuntu ongasifundisi history is doomed to repeat it. There's just something about men that makes them hit and run after making women pregnant. Every so often, in a very small percentage that is negligible. So don't think yourself the exception. Okay, you're the norm. Every so often, do you understand? But guys have this thing that they do. It happened with my mom as well, and my little sister, the last born. Yo, hey guys, you be dating a guy for like 20 years. You be with him for like a minute, and then you fall pregnant. Next thing, after falling pregnant, Akusana babies and this thing. Ish, nah, the son is too young blassa. You be out here falling pregnant. Is it gonna work out? I guess sure. I feel like this thing, it needs to be gomoraho, but can I face the back? Looking all weird and strange. Yeah, I can. When something is that inside men, like when they've basically planted a baby in your stomach, that makes them and Jafela starts to, by osmosis, gravitate into another cell. They move into another cell, like baya baka, and they say, sharp, I'll pay child maintenance. Mara, to make out of you an honest woman, abas bye. And so a lot of women have endured amatotanjalo. Like these dudes that are just be putting babies in your stomach, and you were dating Kanako when he made you pregnant. Like nearly long-term relationship, and then next thing things just go awry when you are pregnant. Frankly, it's a satanic strategy. It is a satanic strategy. That's all I can conclude at this particular juncture. It is obviously a satanic strategy. Next thing this dude is out here just acting a fool, man. You're dropping the ball. Lelwane, break it up. And then you become a single mom. However, baby daddy ukhona. Menjola kumnandi sonke lesikhathi. But because a baby happened, next thing uyagijima. Angazi ukuthi yini ngamadoda with that strategy. It don't live like people do, like memories. Anginandaba nayo. However, mina angizolahlwa in that kind of a cesspool. That's the first and foremost thing. And the second thing is endaba yokuthi mina amamzalwane, and so I'm abstinent. Angazi wani yena nhlonipho for that. I don't do sex before marriage. But you want to make out of me the bitter broads that your baby mamas are. Thirdly, lama baby mamas enu are bitter njena precisely because of into engihlabekisayo letlhabo lekileng lona. Ntho e utlwisang botlhoko e nna ke leng yona la ntlhaloganya di baby mamas tsa lona ha se ke gong never mind abandon, but recently they've even gone on so far as to invest in ascertaining ukuthi mina ngiyashona because they can't handle the truth. Ke maswabi baby mama chicken. This is what's good. Angandaba nawe angikuthandi nama ngithandi. So it looks like we're in this together. We're swaying in some kind of a boat with great turbulence. Kodwa mina ngiphethe life boy, and I've also got some kind of like swimming paraphernalia and a snorkel should I go underground. Kinale oxygen tank. When however usonora naked out you're making like lead with a millstone around your neck at the ocean. Kodwa uyadelela because you are yet to capsize in this little dinghy that we are all chilling in, this little canoe that we are all chilling in. You're not taking for granted. Indaba yokuthi mina ngigqoke I life suit, I buoyant suit. I've got a life buoy. I've got some kind of swimming, but like I said, a snorkel, alles, like diving paraphernalia and an oxygen tank. Should I go all the way down to deep sea diving levels? Yeah. Ke motho wa go ba le di contingencies tse ding tse ntsweng botse hard knock. So let's tlong bora ka taba go fela we in some turbulent ocean. E tletseng ka banna ba sankeneng. E tletseng ka banna ba gong dringa ba here. Ba hlanya banna bana ha bana maitseo, ha bana appetite for anything sober and decent. Ga ba batle go ja lentswe la morena Jesu gore ba lo fepwa. Ba batlang je fela go lo nka everything e ba batlang. Langkutla una le batho ba batlang hey yo like wait le di rubbish langkutla hey le di rubbish. I'm being afflicted at this present juncture by even abafazi that had the same spiritual gifting as me at some point, and after being made to suffer a whole bunch trying to work for Christ with their prophetic gifting, bagcina ba convinced ngama boyfriend okhona ukuthi bayothwasa ebandla we oh kuyaleka relaxa. There was this one little boy that was sharing me on Facebook when my Facebook was still kind of active. He was obviously a Gen Z, kodwa wafila ngathi mina ngingumuhoto uyangiyamukhaza or whatever. I humored him in a conversation every so often, not because I wanted to date him, but because I was just responding to a fan, frankly, that was writing me in saying I really love your content. That's what's good. And in the midst of all of this conversationing, wangbuza ukuthi do you believe in our ancestors? Because onalisipho clearly you've got a gift. You need to maybe consider to see if maybe I'll be zangwa. I was like, little brother man boy, clearly you like my content, you click on it, you press like, and you forward and you share the very same way that Christians in this country forward and share Christian content. You are mixing Christianity with whatever rubbish nonsense that you are also into, like very generally, and so therefore angwazi ugo consume a Christian content and imagine that that's all that you need. Christ is the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father except through him. Ujesu Christ is the only one through whom we can get born again. Yeah, Christ is literally the only way. That thing. You don't believe that thing, so you peruse Christian content because you are both Christians and ancestral worshippers, and every so often you will come here little thing is Hlongwane. Yeah, that's what's good, and be like, maybe you should consider Ugyo Twasa. Like, dude, did I like why you literally you listen to my content, you follow me. Inhaler, exhale steam. Audible. What's going on? Is there some kind of a soundproof glass between me and the firewall of YouTube? I need to hang because how in the world under heaven are you going to be recommending to me your twasa because I've clearly got a gift your bona and all that jazz when you are listening to a Christian content creator? Mara, you see, that's the thing. They are not sincere with God, and so therefore they're going to go back ravas and show you flames once you're with them in a relationship. Yeah, they be out here thoroughly recommending that your spiritual gifting, you need to see if you can maybe see someone and do something something, because maybe that's why indlela zakho zivalwe kabuhlungu kanjena. That's why maybe these latsakha all up in hard knock, like blocked JMPD or something. Like, yo, dude, there is literally only one way, okay? Jesus, like literally. In a total phrasing type, like hard knock, excruciating denial. And so because the more denialing my ministry expecting because that's what I just need to go and do in these pieces. Y'all are gonna find out the hard way. Tribulation is coming. Bokamoso is not looking very good. So the situation is kind of giving dire. Like at this present junction, I feel something coming like a projectile from the sky, and it's like there is fire on the mountain and nobody seems to be on the run. Oh, there's fire on the mountain top and no one is running. That's what's good. Like a little bit of a wildfire. Grass is out here burning, making like stumpis of cigarette. That's what's good. Mara halebalege. So because halebalege langtella ha se go ngtella lena ba bang le embrace taba ya go thwasa a ke na taba le go thwasa gwa lona le thwasitse. It's what you did. You compromised. It's what you did. Le second guessitse modimo. It's what you did. You became a typical African spiritualist. That's what you did. Ha ka tama le batla go tlongedisa monna wa construction project ke maswabi. I am at this present juncture 40 years old. So if I'm going to be dealing ka monna wa construction ke na le 40 go tshore the way mothako anza through the mud the way nje fela ntse asa walking mara o fitlile ka kirvai. Hey boy o fitlile ke ka kirvai ka fela like a wheelbarrow. That's what's good. To the age of 42 maybe. Ali here. And he's also my baby daddy Anu. I'm sorry. We're not doing this. Oh my goodness. Go to my Wi-Fi. Because thanks to fiber to the home, Wi-Fi is now cheap, right? Much cheaper than medical aid. So Lomuntu uyakwazi ukustreama ama content wami, ama videos wami on YouTube for 24 hours. You don't care. You can come home and literally snack on my content. And Valley here still though. So because he's got free Wi-Fi, because clearly that's what needs to happen here. You don't understand what you're dealing with. When I'm a demo, I'm a child of God, I'm a servant of the living God, I have got a prophetic gifting. And what I do is to share that, and I'm also a messenger like John the Baptist in the wilderness, speaking of the coming of the Lord. Alright? That's what I am. So how na motho na o tlo nketsa ngore ke into the sightseeing sense, mara hona le di cherry taking chickens. Ba convinced ho abandon di ministry tsa bona, di calls tsa bona tsa modimo. Yeah, they've been convinced to abandon their walks in Christ by banna ba teng di baby daddy. And then now ka je go batletse ka what should I call this thing, regret. They are to be walking around in Boulevard, yeah, whoopsie, I wish I hadn't done it. And the way that they are responding to their regret, instead of repenting and going back to their first love, who is Jesus, bang trapaka girl bonana at least give me Kimaswabi girl, you gave birth in a public hospital. Not only that, you came back home to Yako Builders Warehouse that has been sitting for 7 months because baby daddy you could not afford to finish a project. You also had to go your malaria thing in with a roof and a chandelier dangling up tops. However, in spite of there being a chandelier, there nonetheless is no roof. There's no skirting. Incomplete project. You live in what looks like an RDP house. And only after 10 years, and now you're looking at me on some it's okay, like proper, I'll chill. In what you call to be bo and that's okay. If that's what needs to happen, because from whatever is the bitter broth thing that you now today are. le kwatile ha botlhoko hampe le kwatetse banna mara you're taking it out on me le batla ka fela re kumbaya ra sway left and right like I said on a canoe in the center of the ocean in the midst of men with no discretion. That's what's good. And you think ukuthi sonke we're gonna drown if we don't do a strange thing. Sonke sizo drown if we don't capitulate sonke. But I said yes, I don't deny. Hora as Karabo says ke Hlongwane le nna ke blomile ko dingi le nna I'm chilling in a canoe, proper the incorrect vessel to be in the center of the Mediterranean, to be in the middle of the Indian Ocean, like some kind of middle of some ocean body of water that requires a ship, like a whole ship. But I am in a canoe. I will admit that I'm in a dinghy in it. It is unsafe. The waters are turbulent. But here's the difference between you and I, sister girl. I've got diving paraphernalia. I've got a life buoy. I have got swimming stuff. I've got a snorkel. I've got an oxygen tank. You know, those flippy flappy thingamabobbies to out you make, like, you know, proper add to the, like, you know, nth degree of this particular deep sea diving experience. I've got what I need to essentially shoot this dinghy in the center of the ocean of wicked black men finally go in the ground, finally go in the ocean, finally sink like the Titanic, except there's nothing Titanic about it. Should it capsize? Should torrents be so voluptuous? Should the rivers be so what do you call this, like unstilled? Should they be so violent that go fella the go capsize mohara dingi e ya rona re blomileng ka phara yona of black irresponsible men? I'm going to be making like Willy in the ocean. My guys, I'm gonna become a whale, okay? I'm gonna become a dolphin. Something very agile, a seahorse. I could say a jellyfish, seeing as I'm full of stinging. I'm poisonous that way. I am going to swim. I am going to swim and I am going to survive. I'm going to make it because the Lord has given me a contingency plan in the midst of banna ba ba go hlanya ba di satan. Ba le entseng mona, ba le entseng di rabishi tsa basadi, ba le entseng di nonsense tse ke sa di rateng. Do you understand what I'm saying? Y'all are gonna down. Not only are you inside this little dinghy, drown. Not only are you inside this little dinghy, but you are in it. Ka letlapa, ne? Le leng mo fatshe mole. And it's about thing tied around mulala wa gago or your waist. That's what's good. So how it capsize a dinghy in how lo gona ke lose swimmer at least for 5 seconds nyana to hope we'll find a rescue. You are going to sink immediately because you are not giving your life to Christ. You are inconsistent and incomplete, and you are insistent on all of us under the indiscretion of banna ba hlanyang ba insisting go etsa bana le basadi ba simba ba so being ready. There's a time for everything, okay? Comprehend this, mamelang basadi ne. A woman from as soon as she starts her first period can have a baby. I mean, we all know that that's true. It's basic biology. You don't need to be a doctor to find that out, right? That's what's good. So essentially from as young as some of y'all 10, from as young as some of y'all 11, from as young as some of y'all 12, like from as young as some of y'all even 8 years old, you can thoroughly be out here having a baby. The youngest mother in the history of the earth, as at the last time I checked in the Guinness World Book of Records, was 8 years old. So you can have a baby at the age of 8, but just because you can have a baby, because biologically it is possible for you to have a baby at the age of 8, does not mean you should. Just because you can does not mean you should. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it is indeed unwise, even in the good old-fashioned days of women getting married when they're still teenagers, child marriages. Yeah, it is still unwise to have a baby at the age of 8. As soon as you have your first period, you are to be making them babies. It's ideal to wait until a time when you can be responsibly taken care of by a husband, and then just keep on popping them for as long as you want to pop them or whatever. Do you understand? There is a responsible season for everything. So now in the very opposite extreme then of older years as opposed to younger ones, so if we can agree that it is irresponsible or not safe for an 8-year-old to be out here being a mom, like it's too soon, girl, like relax, blom, what is with you, you've got so much time. Similarly too, ought you then comprehend that it can also be entirely irresponsible for even a 40-year-old woman to have a baby. Like, what is the thing that makes it not okay for the 8-year-old to have a child? It's not so much that they can't have one, because look, you're having your first period, so you can. You are biologically fit to be able to carry to term a pregnancy. The Lord would not have enabled your body to go to your period if your cavity, what do they call this, your birth canal, if your cervix, this area cannot carry a pregnancy to term. Even if you are just 8 years old, you can. Physically, biologically, it is possible. Insofar as the physiological makeup to make a baby is available, the Lord has also ascertained that the body can carry to term. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, there comes a time in that same 8-year-old's life when she becomes 35. When doctors start to say, Karabo, how you doing, girl? Yeah, you've got a geriatric womb now. There comes a time when the doctors then start to say you're too old to have a baby. And that time comes from the age of 35. And it is at this particular juncture when women are like, yar, I gotta go give Tepo a baby, yar, I gotta go give Jabu a baby, yar, I gotta yar, yo girl, you will get mad as a hatter over women that even though bana 40 abazingen ngoba abodokotela bathe girl, physiologically you can still have a baby mara 8 time. Whereas before with the 8-year-old, physiologically you can have a baby mara 8 time. It's too early. Mara now after 35, they're like physiologically you can still have a baby, you are still fertile mara 8 time. You're gonna have what we call a high risk pregnancy, girl. At this particular junction, I feel like it might even be ectopic. Ke ha o ka etsa ngwana jaga matha etle Sarah o bile le ngwana past age. Hana o bile le ngwana eventually after go rapela sebaka. So too did Rachel have ngwana eventually after go rapela sebaka. Bana ba morena just are not subjugated to the tyranny and the servitude of Nako. Lankudra, we are under the servitude of Jesus Christ. That's what's good. We are slaves to God. And He's the one that hooks up a perfect timing. He's the one that opens a womb and then closes it. Oh my goodness, wow, like I'm so sniffy. You be out, you're like, how mean I black because proper they are a toxin in the body, in the nasal canal. Rubbish. Anyway, whatever. Look, I will acknowledge at this particular juncture to generalize is not the safe thing to do. It is not the ideal thing to do. It is not the right thing to do, but I'm not generalizing. Y'all know that. I just speak in these general terms because it's just easier for reference. And caveat, it does not apply to all. Don't be catching strays if all this here does not apply to you. Highly responsible. Where all you are the gem in the black community or that we feeling that you educate okay. About how it is that this chick is generalizing. I understand that you're catching strays. Mara I can the caveat so ke maswabi. Alright. Lama rubbish umadoda. And you see that's just the thing about us Tina abantu abamnyama in the black community. Amadoda khona yazini no. Black women wait to swaking. Mahua at this particular juncture. Or to realize that there is a grace that God has given us. Too soon, all right? The Lord knows irresponsible construction project 10 years. So what has He given us? He's given us this vampiric appearance. Like we are saved by Tabauri. We look really good older. Come on, internally, biologically, also. Mara, come on, and so for those reasons, we look like 25-year-old brides at 40. So I don't know why you're rushing. Top of that, we are living in an era and age right now where so many women are having children literally after 40. Look at Naomi Campbell. For crying out loud, like guys, it's possible. Okay, to understand when at what point you are going to menopause, only look at your grandmother and your mom. Look at Basadi Bako Heno. And if there's any woman Guinea that has a problem with early menopause, then maybe you can worry. If you have an auntie that out at 40 was menopausing, then maybe get worried. But largely, y'all can basically account for an aunt that was pregnant at 47. You can account for a grandmother that was pregnant, had her first child at 52. Like these things happen in the black community. So only look at your own mom, only look at your own sisters, only look at your own aunties, maternal aunties. It could even be paternal, but I think the adoption of like reproductive tendencies or heritages tend to come from the female side, but I stand corrected. Just like twins are on the side of the mom, not so much the dad. It has to be a genetic thing that the mom had for there to be twins born, or a probability of twins type setup thing. I think it's maternal. You get my point. So look at your maternal side. If at all you're not adopted, look at your maternal grandmother. Look at your maternal mom, call your mom. Look at your maternal aunts. Look at your maternal sisters, cousins on the side of your mom. And if gune auntie that ought to be pushing 60 with her first pregnancy, yo, you have nothing to worry about. Mina personally, my mom had my little sister Anna 43 or 44. 43 or 44. because I remember on her 40th birthday, we had written that lipstick, happy 40th birthday, when she was dating my sister's dad. And she wiped that 40 off because not about the boyfriend to see, so she was lying to my sister's dad. He was younger than her, type establishment thing. And it would be a few years from the date of her wiping that lipstick for her to have her first baby. She had her when I was in grade 11. I was 17 years old, and it's just irresponsibly driving in a neighborhood like this, like proper somebody. I don't know why it's not speed bump, but then again, that's a sentence. Anyway, whatever. Yeah. Maternal king, my little sister, it would be a few years, maybe like 3 or 4 years from that date, when I was like maybe go grade 9 or about grade 9. Yeah, grade 9. It would be about maybe like the end of grade 8, beginning of grade 9. That's when she started dating my sister's dad. And she would, on her 40th birthday, we were wiping a lipstick smudge when she didn't want to confess that she was 40. And then a few years later, she then had my little sister. So I know that if I can just do the mathematics right now. My little sister was born in 2001. My mom is 66. Do the math, okay? You can figure out how old, 44, more or less. Yeah, she was about 43, 44. Okay, do the math, y'all. I'm not out trying to do algebra in front of you on the street, okay? That's what's good. So my mom was 43, 44 when she had my little sister, and she would only start getting hot flushes and perimenopausal symptoms, like when my little sister was high school age. Not high school. When my baby sister was the beginning of high school, grade 8, that's when my mom started to get the hot flash, basically all the signs of menopause. So it would be another like 12-13 years before my mother would finally menopause after having my little sister at the age of 44. So frankly, I am safe. I am good. That's what you need to gauge whether or not you're safe, whether or not you can push the goalpost out. And not only am I safe biologically, genetically, there is a God that says, Nkemele, do you understand? Wait on me. Those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength. They will mount up with wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. Mudimo insists that you wait. Wait for the Lord. Thus saith him. Wait. Emma. So if God is telling you Emma, and wait for what it is that he has provided, what neither eye has seen, nor ear heard, nor mind conceived, the things which God has prepared for those who wait for him, it means ukuthi I tlo go fa some irresponsible boyfriend in Jefela o tlo batlang go kenya mpa go sena an ability to do that. Go se right motho wa teng a sa butswa a sa ithuta bo responsibility ba bonna to take care of ntlo e nang le bana le mosadi wa teng. Should this woman not be able to kusebenza, le ndoda lena is going to cater to her. Make sure ukuthi when she's heavily pregnant akazobhiza gibela ama taxi nama bus or even driving herself, because this dude is available for her. At least he's ordering, what is this, organizing either Uber or a driver, somebody to make sure when she is in her 3rd trimester is not busy and very uncomfortable, essentially driving herself around. If she can still drive herself, then by all means, Mara, he should be the one that is there for her. Or like I said, order ama Uber in that regard. And then cleave to his wife, and the two of them become one flesh, and then him be the provider and take care of the household affairs. If Ubizo is a construction worker, anta sebetsa in o flipang ka rekele mo harapane monna anta mo butswa amtsa mo phega mo baneng mo lifeng nka ke bacon, guys. A woman should not have to strive that heavily. Ha botloko hakana mo tlo cause miscarriage abuti waiting, like indoda should not cause umfazi ukuthi asogole kanjena just to get basic things done. This thing yabasadi, we are indeed helper suitables as women, okay? So we ought to help men basically grow, businesses and clout, everything that they need in society, networking. Loba there by their side, and also wind beneath their wings. Mara indota, guys, it doesn't qualify as wind underneath mapeko amon. How ol ilwena umubele mo magetleng a gago o shapile squat se sengwe sa mhlaba wema hore alo palama step. That's a man's weight on the shoulders of a woman, men of which are stronger, and they tend to be also heavier than us, okay? So therefore, when you're carrying him on your shoulders, that is not wind beneath the wings. That is leplanka. That is what do you call this? That is a podium a stand. That is steps. That is a step ladder. I say moya in and of itself ha o afflictwe ka go imela nonyana e fofang. Do you understand what I'm saying? The air does not afflict a soaring bird with weight. It's just merely there and it enables the bird to glide. That's how a helper suitable should be, like the wind beneath a person's wings, not so much this podium on which he is standing. Licensing department guys. Yo and sorry. Lama tota irresponsible the way bathanda abantwana ngakhona. Yes, like they just love making babies. And I feel as though sometimes bayenza abantwana ngoba bayazi ukuthi uzokhathala at some point umshiye. And so bayazi ukuthi abafazi it is harder for us. Ugyothandwa, ugyochadwa when we've got children. Bona, they can just go and have 7 baby mamas and have some chick out here ogling over him. Indeed, that is the issue. That is Eve's curse. It is written in God's word that from now on your desire will be for your husband. So essentially, by any means necessary. That's why women are more prone or inclined or have a proclivity, towards accepting polygamy more than men ever can. That's why men are the ones with multiple wives, not the other way around. Women so salivate at the prospect of being wives that they will take everything, including lenjale nama baby mamas wakona I 20. Whereas when if you gonna be a baby mama of 7 by 7 different guys, or even if it's by one guy, it's gonna be so hard for you to find love because amadota struggle to take on abantwana by some other man, whereas women are happy to go by because it is within their nature to nurture. Do you understand what I'm saying? Abantwana by somebody else. Yeah, type setup thing. So baby daddy babona haboba, it's not romance blockers. Bo baby daddy are not as romance blocking as bo baby mama is. So it's almost as if bega isisu precisely because for you to fall in love fluidly, for you nje ugyothathwa nabantwana bakho naye. No, it's not impossible, but it's harder for women. It is harder for women to have children. Do you understand what I'm saying? It is a lot harder for women ukuba nabantwana. Sorry, not have children, sorry, but to find love, like real, genuine love. It's a lot harder for women to find real, genuine love when they've got kids, or to fall in love organically with a man that to organically fall in love with the guy that you like, that also likes you back, right? Like you be out here crushing on a guy in the office and you can tell that this guy's also interested in you. But the moment he finds out you've got 2 kids, especially when you're much younger, when he also does not have abandona himself and it's not like a blended thing. So basically what that means is that your first price, your first choice, the one that you would much rather be with, so you end up doing what's settling for the one who is prepared to be with you. However, if it was up to you, would much rather be Nosizwe instead of Nojabu. You get my point, right? Guys, it's not quite like that. Like there was a time, personally, I had made a determination prior to me coming to Christ, right? Before I was even saved, I was like, still to this day, but like back then I was young and apparently in a position to make that decision. Now, when I make that decision, it's like, dude, you're like a tick in my hair, and I cannot that you happen to think I'm choosy or I'm picky or whatever. But whatever. During the time when I was still young, I had made a decision that has children. But I met one that has a kid, right? Yo, this dude. The way the way I met him on training. I was late for training and he was there and he was just so handsome, just gawking at me. And as soon as I found out that he had a kid, I was like, I don't care, I'll take him and his kid. So here's a woman that was like, I don't want to be with a guy that has a kid. But I like this guy so much that I was willing to make concession. Men have got that kind of power over us. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I feel as if though sometimes all over the show they just throw themselves because even if they tell themselves I know all he has to do is be charming enough, like, you know, basically just kind of able to get to her enough for her to change her mind. Like I've listened to so many even stories on TikTok of women speaking about what it is that they experienced at the hands of baby mama drama and child disrespect, when they didn't even want to have to be with with guys that had kids. But they made concessions for these guys because they were so in love. They made concessions for these guys, but however, they were so in love. There are a lot of stories like this. There are a lot of women that speak stories of this nature. Because women are like that. We are more willing to make concessions in ways that men just don't have to. Do you understand? And so maybe that's why maybe that's why I insist and because it significantly shallows your dating pool. Like significantly. It makes you not end up with the man that you would have much rather wanted to be with because so therefore you're gonna have to settle for second best or whatever. And basadi ba busy na bantutsi mo godima tlhogong ka re ke nta. Do you understand what I'm saying? Ba batla gong polaya, ba batla gong ketsa something that doesn't make any sense under heaven. Precisely because ba circumstances of this particular cray nature. Guys, like I've been saying it, I keep on getting the door on a loop, and maybe the reason why God keeps repeating them is because of the fact that it's just such a reigning theme and it is such a threat. And Kentucky out here finger licking good. DJ really taking chicken that they went out here and made love to, and they now moms. Babatla hong chebisa book girl ba responding to R. Kelly, I don't mind. Like, do you mind if I make you a baby mama? I don't mind. Oh, do then add do you mind if I love you, Karabo, and romance you, my baby? Hey, I mean, you look like such a beautiful baby mama. Yeah, I don't doubt that I can transfer some interesting genes into some children. And I also don't doubt that I can be a good mom and a happy mom. I also don't deny that I want love and to be adored and doted over by a responsible, operative terminology, man. I don't deny any such thing. What I am, however, making war with and am at severe qualms, have qualms with, and am at severe enmity with, and with which I have reached an impasse, is the fact that people are trying to make me into this thing. Ingengabi right, ingabutswi, elentonyana ko avening in the fella ya go ba le tlapi marathonse kinye mo molomong ntse chesa kilo ikwenya without uklanza ngina maswabi. These women are bitter. And because ba bitter and in denial, however, ba busy standing back and wreaking havoc in my uneasy life, and they hope ukuthi mina ngizoqina also using a whole bunch of witchcraft. Kilorile, an ex-boyfriend of mine, and he was one of those panel beating projects that I was busy with. He was not in my league. I kept on soaring above him. When I met him, high school, just 17 years old. Do you understand? Yeah. But when I matriculated, we were still together, and the two of us broke up because he could not for the life of him take in his stride. You see, that's what family is about. A grandmother and a grandfather and a grandchild are just running around in the street kumnandi in a beautiful neighborhood. That's what I want for a family. Mahua got it right. And the batana jonong ki busy to ki Hlongwane ki beilongwana go what do you call this, kitchen stoop instead of mobojwang, because it's just patchy, because I lay alone, because I'm accustomed to a certain lifestyle, and I'm not going to be subjugated to the tyranny of that kind of lifestyle when I didn't even have to go through that. But anyway, whatever. This random guy, when I was in high school, just a kid, and he was 21 years old when I was dating him. I was 17, he was 21. And I was very much in love with him. But then I matriculated and I went to Wits, and he was because he was a hood rat. Hood rat. This guy was just a hood rat. Do you understand what I'm saying? He was just like a crazy, ridiculous, violent hood rat. And so because he was a hood rat, and the whole time when I met him, he was already like working age. By then, Karabo should have had at least his degree from university. Mara nansa gather dastanza no di dampitsa hansa. I create a shandy out of sprightly hansa go kasi. Mara no khodam nate ha renza re driver ke tshilo ka ba busy ka di dampi at the age of 35. Gonzo go freezing. Ka mare ga motho o busy ka dampi amstele aba qina thotsing pneumonia as na medical aid. He was that guy. That guy. That boyfriend of mine was like that guy. And so because he was that guy, when I matriculated and I had a matric exemption, so I qualified for this university to go and study further, he was so insecure. Yes, like it put, like ngosi, something. Unang rata ke le ko high school. Since ne ke apara school uniform sa stofi, since ne ke le ajo in the streets ka di go suits e fitlhang mo mangweleng. o ne sentse ne angata ke apere plumas ya di polka dot le mablom, all right? Mara the moment I started to wear the lingerie, because ne ke sa ke gola jwanong ke ba girl, ke ba mosadi, yo ass like it, as he could not handle in Yoguti. I was registered at a university, so our relationship, we didn't even break up, Joe. We just like separate. Do you understand? That's how it happened. We just separated. That's how it happened. That's how it happened. We just separated. We just separated. Anybody or communicating, dumping, nothing. However, the last time that I saw him, he was so mean. He was so cold. He was different in ways that he wasn't before. The entire does being he was so mean-spirited that I couldn't understand why he was being like this, but it was because he was aware of the fact that high school, and so therefore I was going to start noticing more. And it's funny because one of the girls that was my friend during the time when we were dating would ask me, Karabo, let's say his name was Temba, what does he do? And I was like, I don't know, because I didn't even ask him. Like, the guy did not even know my surname for months in the relationship. He didn't know what subjects I did at school. One time, I go jazz festival, and I was like, I need to go home, please. Like, get one of your boys to drop me off. He didn't have a car yet at the time, and I was like, I need to write kinale exam, I have a test. Yeah, science. He's like, you don't do science. I was like, yes, I do. This guy did not know that I was an academic at school. Got a Miss Jola, and of course we were fornicating type establishment thing. Marana I am a maths and a science student. You see, stuff like that. To a point of piggy. So when I told him that I've got a science exam, a science test the next day that I need to go home and study for, so I gotta leave jazz festival in the jazz festival of which was happening on it was a Sunday. Right, let's say by jazz festival like a Sunday, right? Yeah, that's what was going on. Mona motoki ha angfa grief. So because of the insecurities that he ended up acting strange towards me, some way, some kind of funny way, the last time that we were together. And because of the way I was expecting an apology, and it didn't come. We just parted ways. We didn't even break up. Not even in this, we did not even break up. Like he went left, I went right. By the time I registered at Wits, being single, by implication, by suggestion, I did not, like, it's not like I said it's over, we're not together. We just did that because he became rude. That's what happens when a man comes into your life when you are still in Stofisa's tunic, when you are still John Adamson High School, when you are still in a childlike position. You are fat and meaty, you are bigger than that. You are doing math, science, biology, and accounting on higher grade. We are past foot. You are qualified for Wits University. You've got your way, basically, en route an exemption. Do you understand? And you're going to be something big. An internship one day. You're going to basically be something important. Smirnoff Ice Ward ko Baragwanath Hospital. Ojolale hangover. Engwe enzamayang walking these streets. Literally go feel like this outie is a babalas. That's what you jowl with. And because you're dating babalas, while you are all babalast, busy up and down the streets of Ukjola. When in that season, our born is enjoying in the you do just but the moment you become a higher learning institution, the moment you become a university, the moment you become a internship at corporate, I know Segria Banda manje called front, and these guys abathandini ugyobega abantwana inside the stomachs of abafazi. Before they discover ukuthi mina ngibusy as a math and science student, ke jola le dampi ya ko Rockville, ke jola le Amstead, ke jola le hangover ka fela etsamayang ya ko Protea. And so in so being with Lenja dena ke tlo lemala, like I'm gonna get hurt, like in the worst way. Before a woman steps out of that, before abona hore Grandchapo, you should not be when you're still wearing tunic. When you are still all up in that tunic business, hunker down, because go rough and go whack when you're still kids. You date each other for no other reason than tabo cute na le dempole o tseba jive o popular the parties go fela tsa go DK the organize again. That's why you jola when you're kids. But when things start getting serious, yo lo muntu uzobonisa ukuthi akazingeni indaba zakho that you must be umuntu ophelele. How about this boyfriend of mine passed me shade and our relationship ended because he just gave me attitude. And so I was like, okay, whatever, it's cool. Right? Precisely because he didn't so much but he was rude to me the last time he saw me and he didn't even see it necessary to apologize or call me afterwards. So and it was time, and by the time I registered at first year, he was just vapor mega hambile. But what I'm trying to get at is that this guy, he passed away in a car accident at the age of 30. Flatline. I was, by the time when he was 30, I was 26. Yes, like it. Where I was in life in comparison to him, I could never have stayed with that guy. I could never have stayed with that guy. In the same scene when I was only 17. Since I jive, since I did dumping, since I banyaning, since I'm a whole young professional in corporate South Africa. I got my own car, got my own apartment. Like I'm good. Yeah, he was still mega commuting. He was commuting to go to work. Do you understand? By a landslide, and the guy that I was dating was not too different from him. Right? That's what's good. Like the ex at the time, like these guys, ole here, ole 5, not 7. You're 7 years old. You're still drinking less baby formula. These guys that find you they will show you flames the moment you do better. And sometimes bayazi uguti you are in a leliri, and so they try to put a baby in your stomach diapers, like an 8-year-old pregnancy, like I spoke about the other day. Not other day, just now. Only 7 because you go on your period. So basically you're fertile, you can have babies. It's not safe though. Hey Jabu, hey Temba, hey Sibusiso, hey Mandla, hey Mpo. It's not time yet. Yeah, I saw the degree. I saw that promotion so that if I fall pregnant, Bossiam can't give me grief because I'm already a business analyst. That's what you say. You say to yourself, Mara, the muntu convince her even using witchcraft. Uzokuconvince ngemithi uzokubeka isisu ungabi ready. And he knows that the reason why that's the case is because at some point you are going to be where you need to be. Kodwa bafazindeni tlhaloganya hore bana also have got power to maintain you in a demoted status, in the sense that if you had not given them a baby, if you had not fallen pregnant, you would have gotten the promotion, you would have become a PM, you would have. So not only do they slow you down, but they also insist on putting a baby in your stomach so that you will be less viable in the future should you decide to walk away from them. And then they use witchcraft to manipulate your ecosystem to ascertain that you not only settle with them, insist end up married to them, but also think that this is life, when you are supposed to be 10 steps farther in your career, 10 steps farther in your everything. You are 10 steps back, 20 back, because you gave Inja umntwana when you were just 8 years old, when you were still in diapers. You gave a man a baby. Tanamount would have been the tanamount of me giving that ex of mine a child since matric. Because I was in high love. I was in high love like no man's business. To a point where we used to even talk about abantwana. One day we're going to get married. Oh, one day we're going to have kids. If I had gone on right ahead and had a teenage pregnancy with that guy, yes, like a dude, I would have been dealing with a baby daddy by the time he was 30. That's when he died, right? I would have been dealing with a baby daddy. That's not even paying proper child maintenance. That's probably got another baby mama out in these streets with whom I'm not together. Mara, I'm tied to his family and he's tied to mine because yeah, I would not have stayed with that guy. Maybe I would have, and if I would have stayed with him because of the child, I would have been so miserable. I would have been so frustrated. I would have been so ridiculously frustrated by this guy. That's what would have happened. Mara, I didn't have a baby with him. Neither was he interested in putting one in my stomach, because at that stage, thankfully, we were very, very young. Okay, The next guy that I dated, I was like, never, me. No, not that he asked, but I determined not to give him a child until I'm married and until he's gotten his act together. And that relationship lasted 5 years. Well, he wasn't the next guy, but the next couple of guys. The relationship lasted 5 years. But it ended without me giving him a baby, even though I was broody the whole time. I told you, ever since I was 22 years old, I've wanted to have a child. But I did not give anybody one, because there was never a man that ever was, at the time of me being with them during my broody season, that ever stood up to the occasion in a way that was satisfactory. There was never ever a man that was here, okay, this I can do it. Not even one. And that preserved me. So black women, seeing as you look young at 35, 40, because you can still get married on at 39, 40 and still look 27. And if you look at your grandmother or your mom who had their last born child at 47, ujagheleni, what are you rushing for? And that's what people are trying to get me to rush about. My mom had my baby sister at 44. I at least have 4 years. I get to mat. I get to jag. I get to nyala monna unthotseng kapere stepe sa ko high school. Sa stofi. I get to nyala monna unthotseng. Ha ke tlo nyala monna nna unthotseng. Ke le ka mo hara school uniform. Senzane ke apere diplomasi, dibonga instead of lingerie. I'm not going to get to marry anybody o tlong kukang nang tholeng mo mokhukhung. A tlong thola ke dula go mungo at the back of my mom's house. Mara yena o na le 1-bed apartment or yena o na le room e kgolonyana e bonagalang e a kentseng di-tile le bathroom e ensuite ko mora wa ntlo ya nkgono hae. I'm there. I'm not going to do that. Because I know who I am. And I've experienced hore monna o monyane ko wena mara o sa bonagaleng hore monyane ko wena, because since o le ko high school go etsa ha setse o ya ko varsity, he will pass you shade and treat you like trash. My ex-boyfriend did that with me. So basically I am now determined never to allow myself to be with a man while I am still so little that I can't see that he's little. And right now I might be 40 years old, but I am little in very many respects. I've had everything ripped from me. I've lost yonkinto. And ke shelwa ke banna. Hey guys, ba sa ntshwaneleng le ka tseba. Abanye ba hlale ma roomini, abanye ba hlale ma RDP houses, abanye abena mandlo abo, basa abena misebenzi. They live at home with parents. However, there are others that are they are financially okay. Mara but they keep on planting babies in women's stomachs. Banaledi baby mama across South Africa. Abanye ba chatile bangifuna zinyazi or second wife, like either way bang patlanga teng, and this plethora of crazy slew of insults that are all up in my grill. I like that precisely because I'm next, and they know that they can help me along. School uniform, and so because I'm still a high school student, tantamount, they are gonna look big at first, bankaza at first, and romanticize the prospect of me being a baby mama. But the day's gonna come when I now register at Wits and this guy is acting all funny and dystopian in my grill. Bafazindini ningibulalela indaba yokuthi la madoda lawa took you when you were still in school uniform and they regressed you by many years. And amadoda are, however, also giving me grief precisely because of the fact that they are looking at all of y'all that took what they gave, what they offered, and are like, look at all these other ladies, they are moms today, they are happy. They're not. All of us are in an ocean, a turbulent one, in a canoe, a dinghy of silly crazy men, but I'm the only one here with life support paraphernalia on my body. I'm the only one here that can swim in the middle of the ocean. When they can't swim by your daughter, they are gonna drown. So there's no rush. Get right. Sarah had a baby past age. Rachel finally, Hannah finally, Elizabeth finally. No. I am waiting on God. First and foremost, the rapture is going to happen, but what needs to be comprehended is that haona motho o tlong jagisa because ke tsogile. I'm looking at my biological clock. I've already spoken about this at length, but I want to help you understand that there is currently a strategy and a whole bunch of witchcraft being done by banna ba tshereneng ba itwetsa gore I'm sexless, tshwantse ke lo ba le Bana, they find me sexy, and so they can't help but think about sex with me. They keep on, listen, I'm a Christian content creator, and yet somehow they prosper to masturbate outside of my content. And then the demons of lust make them do korobela spells, and then they try to get me to settle. And recently their newest strategy, because people keep on inventing new ways to sin that are of the devil, has been to make me kikhalle basadi babang baling right bathotseng bana and all that jazz through them. Bafuna ukusebenzisa indaba yokuthi abanye abafazi finally capitulated. They want to use that to make me settle. Babatla ngikhoza hore ke nke ntho nna e sang tshwaneleng because other women did it. Angbasabi la botsheri ba kwatile ngoba vele ni ba mithise too early, and on top of that bang kwatetse ditsheri tsa teng because ba fra ke lona ba fra ba re batla kaofela in the same pool of sorrow, and so therefore they are acting as if they're grand when they're not, to a point where yesterday I did a video speaking about how they're actually trying to kill me as well. Abafaz bakhona akele tshabi kaofela ha le kopane ba setletse basadi bale, they all settled, so anginsabi ngoba nina anisabi uGod. I get it happy because I let happy mudim. I get it happy because you're not coming in a spirit that makes sense. I get it happy because mudimwaka, if he before me, no one can be against me. Happy that ex-boyfriend of mine, God was showing me by the time he passed away, you are mine, nobody else is gonna marry you, you belong to me. He had already slapped me and then he went to his grave. That are doing this to me, they are facing death. If anything, I had a dream of one lying on the side of the street. So they are on their way out, but they're gonna die. I've been saying that they are facing death. So for what? When they're under judgment. Just like my ex, he will go to the grave, ex-girlfriend that thing, and then find himself in Hades. So bafazindini, I keep trying to reach you for Jesus, Mara, you are unresponsive. You are like on a flat bed or a gurney after paramedics collect you post an accident, and we keep on trying to resuscitate our buoy. So somebody gotta call it. So basari do it. I'm calling it now. All I'm doing now is waiting on God. Le guilty mara le respond, ha repente, halena tlhompho, lang tlhopegisa. You keep on doing spells to make me end up working a job that don't make sense. Recently, there's a woman that came into my life on Lweleng, call center. You are unresponsive. I am a paramedic and EMT, and you are unresponsive. So somebody gotta call it, and I'm calling it. I'm finally calling it. You are dead. I'm sending out in Christ's name, Krenke. Peace.